Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department has announced new visa requirements for countries which are based on what it identified as high overstay rates and also screening and vetting deficiencies. Now, applicants from Zambia and Malawi will now be the first to be expected to pay bonds of up to $15,000 for some visas once the requirements are unveiled under a pilot program in about 2 weeks. The new requirements have stirred mixed reactions among Zambians. Here's CGTN's Joy Kirukijuma with the details.
Zambia joins a growing list of countries in Africa that have been singled out for a revision in U.S. visa requirements. Some Zambians have described the bond of up to $15,000 for some tourist and business visas as unrealistic. But according to the U.S. State Department, the bond will be returned to the applicant once they leave the U.S. within the allowed window and complies with the terms of the visa status. An international relations expert called the bond absurd.
Let's face it, that's a lot of money in a country where an average person lives on $1 per day for all their needs. You get me? That's just a pittance, because $15,000, if you calculate it at today's rate of $22 to $1, is about 370,000 kwacha. It's not only laughable, it is, I think, absurd to expect any Zambian to come up with that money when most of them do not even have any money to pay for schools' education fees.
He urged Zambians to stay home instead.
Zambia is a very rich country. We are 750,000 square kilometers. 90% of that land is arable. We can till, we can weed, and we can produce lots of food. We can reduce poverty, and Zambians will stay in Zambia instead of lining up for $15,000 visas.
But political analyst Alex Ngoma says Trump's tightening of U.S. borders is understandable.
And so Donald Trump has actually acted in the best interests of America and its people. He's trying to discourage these illegal immigrants from entering America. You see, when you keep an open door policy to immigrants, you risk even allowing terrorists and the thieves from other countries coming into your country. That's why it's very, very important to really appreciate what Donald Trump has done, is promoting and protecting American interest in the eyes of those that understand.
Trump issued a travel ban in June that fully or partially blocks citizens of 19 nations from entering the U.S. on national security grounds. Several countries in Africa, including Burundi, Djibouti and Togo, also had high overstay rates, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection data from 2023. A U.S. State Department spokesperson speaking on condition of anonymity said the list of countries may be updated from time to time. Joy Kirukijuma, CGTN.
Now, over in Malawi, many see the move as a crushing blow to their aspirations. CGTN's Najma Abdirazak tells us more.
Frustration outside Malawi's immigration headquarters in Blantyre. Dozens of worried citizens and long queues as they grapple with the latest U.S. immigration policy, a bond of up to $15,000 for tourist and business visas. The U.S. State Department says the refundable bond targets countries like Malawi with high visa overstay rates and vetting issues. But for many here, it is an attainable roadblock.
This move has shattered plans that most Malawians had to travel. And with our economy, not everyone can manage this bond. For some of us who are willing to go and look for greener pastures, then those plans have completely been destroyed.
The bond is the latest in President Donald Trump's tough immigration agenda, which includes a travel ban on 19 nations announced back in June. His administration has also been beefing up border enforcement, targeting countries like Malawi, Burundi and Togo for high overstay rates.
Malawi is not associated with criminality, so I think putting a bond on Malawi, for whatever reasons they have said, but it's very unfortunate and it's very bad. It's not good for for Malawi.
Political analyst Felix Ngwira says the U.S. visa target sends a harsh message. Ngwira argues the policy preys on Malawi's economic struggles, leaving citizens feeling stuck and sidelined.
It could be a way of don't come to our country. We don't need you. You have no stake. You have no value coming here. So that's what we can think of already just right now. But I'm not sure of their own intentions of having that kind of a sum. But for us, automatically, it's a no-go zone.
So, as the U.S. doubles down on immigration controls, Malawians fear that with this latest visa bond, their dreams of opportunities abroad are being priced out of existence. Najma Abdirizak, CGTN.
Well, let's now find out more about Malawi's response to this. From Lilongwe, Moses Kunkuyu joins us. He, of course, is Malawi's Minister of Information and the Chief Government Spokesperson. Great to have you on the show with us, Mr. Kunkuyu. Now, of course, this decision came as a surprise. Many were surprised that Malawi and Zambia were the two nations targeted. In fact, a number of analysts and experts have called this imposition of this U.S. visa bond unfair and also unusual for a country like Malawi. Have Malawian authorities responded? Have they publicly commented on the matter? And what has been the response in the country so far?
No, the response will be in various ways. One, as government, we feel that a decision taken by a sovereign state like the United States of America has to be respected. We respect that. Citizens will respond to it differently. Those that are eyeing opportunities elsewhere, including in the USA, will also respond differently. We feel that while we respect the decision as Malawi government, we feel that there is always room, because we have been a very good partner of the United States of America. Malawians as a people, they are very peace-loving people, hardworking people. They are never on the list of wanted criminals out there. So we know where Malawians go, they are reputed as people that like to work hard, people like that love peace. And we would join those that may look at this as somehow being a bit harsh on the citizenry, but as a sovereign state, we respect the decision, and we believe that through the engagements that we always have with the United States government, which are ongoing currently, there is always room that this may not be a permanent position.
And before we get into that further, I am curious to know what your thoughts are on why Trump's administration targeted Malawi, given, of course, that Malawi is a smaller nation on the continent. It also has relatively few tourism or business-related arrivals in the U.S. And when we look at your visa overstay rate, it's just at 14.3%. So what are your thoughts on why Malawi was a target?
No, we have just taken note of the decision, and we wouldn't want to speculate as why Malawi was the target. We respect whatever criteria they used as a government to come up with that decision. But as I did say, we are in continuous engagements with their officials, and we believe that in the course of those discussions and engagements, we should be able to get to a point where we understand as to why really this decision, which we agree looks harsh, had to be taken.
Now, one thing you did say is that you don't think this decision will necessarily be permanent. So does Malawi plan to go to the negotiating table with the U.S. over this visa bond going forward?
Not necessarily going into a negotiation on this particular visa bond issue, because we've had diplomatic relations for a long time, for decades. And there have been issues that have come, be it to do with visas or be it to do with our relations, issues that came, issues that went. And they have come after discussions. Some of them have been revised and they have gone. As Africa, we found ourselves in a position where some issues have come and they have gone after negotiations, after discussions. because we're living in a world where Malawi needs the US needs Malawi, the US needs Africa, Africa needs the rest of the world as well. So we are living in a global world where we need each other. And where one feels that certain conditions have to be put for one to travel to a certain country, and we feel that that does not completely augur well with the spirit of wanting to live in a global society, and we believe that negotiations or contact and continuous discussions can lead to a change of a position, then we always use that opportunity to explore that route of continuous engagement.
Right. And I want to get a sense of how hard this decision has hit Malawi, because it basically puts travel to the U.S. further out of reach for many Malawian residents. Give us a sense of the extent of the impact of this decision to Malawians.
No, Malawians, as I did say, Malawians are people that love adventure. They travel a lot. Malawians also like working. Malawians are not in the books of criminals. But we are a country that does not have, it still has a feeble economy. We are a landlocked country, land-linked in other words, and we are an agricultural-based country where we still see our existence in a global setup as an opportunity where we spread our wings to the rest of the world and offer what we can offer, and also benefit what we can offer from the rest of the world. And the economy itself does not put us in a very comfortable position when it comes to issues like bonds in the amounts that are being mentioned. Obviously, Malawians' economic levels in their households are not in the areas where one would wake up one morning and cough up those kind of amounts in the name of a bond so that they secure a visa to travel to the USA. It's hard to come by.